Hello everyone, we are back, and this time it's a big fan requested video of worst to best April O'Neil performances. And this one, well, I've been getting this request for nearly 2 years. People have been asking me to do it for about 2 years now, so now I'm going to do it. Which April is the worst? Which April is the best? We're about to find out. Anyhow, let's stop talking and let's start ranking this shit. Let's get it going. Who's the worst? Who's the best? Why is the worst Megan Fox? Obviously. Let's hit it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Actually, though, there's a big difference. I'm a nerd, not a geek. It's the difference between, like, Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter.
Next is April O'Neil. We know who the worst is, Megan Fox. Her performance cannot be counted as April O'Neil. And yes, good God, is she just awful. This, to me, suffers from basically any other Megan Fox performances. And I mean, out of both of her versions of April, she just flat out sucked. They mainly just focused on seeing fan service parts of Megan Fox just be like, hey, Megan, we're Yeller. That's the best way to do it. That makes you sexy. Oh, good God. I really hate her as April O'Neil. And a lot of people are probably going to, come after me and be like, what the fuck, man? What's wrong with it? What about the one from the stoner Seth Rogen? No. There is no worse April O'Neil than Megan Fox. And when I seen the announcements for the other April that came out just last year or the year beforehand, no, last year, yeah, I just flat out said, no, she's the worst April. There is no worse April O'Neil than Megan Fox, who just can't act and can't do anything but be sexual. That's her whole stick. I know a lot of people don't like the 2023 version of April, but good God, she's a godsend compared to this April. In fact, this is the only April O'Neil to me that is considered to be a terrible performance. And I mean it. The other Aprils on this list are just meh, or basically I feel indifferent to them. This one was an insult to Turtle fans, to me. A lot of people said, no, the new April from the Seth Rogen version is the insult. No, she is not an insult. I do not like this April O'Neil. One, she's not even trying, for fuck's sake. I know I give the Bay Turtle movies a lot of flack, but this, I cannot help but say how much grueling hatred I have for this version of April. She is just fucking terrible. And I normally don't like to slam an actress's performance, but she's not an actress. She's basically just an ex-porno student that escaped from Michael Bay's Kitty Dungeon. Oh, God. I don't know how the hell she gets parts. Well, what? I do know how. But I'm not going to discuss that here. Not on when younger audiences are viewing my... And she just flat out fucking sucks. Anyhow, she's the worst for good reason. And there is no other April O'Neil performance worse than hers. So, I'm done talking about her. Let's go to the next one, shall we?
So, well...
You didn't.
I did.
Feel the rain on your skin. Someone else can feel it for you.
Next is Io Edebree. And you know what? No. I don't find anything wrong with her performance. Just maybe it's that she is so young and she's voicing April, or they just aged April down. You know what? I'm going to just tell people this flat out. And I'm just going to flat out say this because I know there's going to be a giant elephant in a room. She's not the first black April O'Neil. So, no, she's not. But she's not the best black April O'Neil either. So if anyone wants to start throwing their tomatoes at me just because I think she's way better than Megan Fox, maybe the actress is just so young that she couldn't do a great performance, but I thought she was okay. She's not anything memorable like the other Aprils ahead of her, but she does try. I'll give her that much. I don't really have anything against her. I mean, honestly, from Megan Fox, yeah, she's a vast improvement. There is no other actress who is worse than Megan Fox as April O'Neil. Anyone on here actually has one ability or one triumphant thing of called trying. And this girl, I could tell, actually tries. She does a pretty decent job. I never understood why people got upset over them changing April's race when they had already done that previously in Rise of TMNT. Or the fact that they made April a teenager in some shows. I never understood the rage that people had on why. Maybe I just don't notice that kind of thing. Like, the race swapping stuff never really bothered me that badly. I mean, in Batman, Two-Face, Billy D. Williams was changed to, it was Billy D. Williams who played Two-Face, or Harvey Dent, and then Tommy Lee Jones got to play him in the same, supposed to be the same continuity. It's just a different version of April O'Neil, and I think she does decently. She's no masterpiece actress or anything, but she can get a few funny lines in, and I think she's somewhat interesting. I don't think she's terrible. I mean, I think this movie itself is awful because it's basically just Seth Rogen going, but other than that, she does a decent job, and hell, even Giancarlo Esposito does a fantastic, I really hope I said that right, as Baxter Stockman, and they actually got Baxter Stockman's race correct too in this, so either way it goes, I don't think she's a terrible April O'Neil. I don't think this is a terrible Ninja Turtles film either. I found it a little bland and boring somewhat, but they relied a little too much on the animation style and not much substance. That's about it. But as April, she's decent. She's not terrible. I've seen a lot worse. Megan Fox. But yeah, the whole race swap thing doesn't bother me, and I'm not going to pick on her or the actress because April O'Neil's not white and it's the end of the world. I really just never cared about that, and I probably never will. I already got my favorite version of April O'Neil, and you guys will find out what that is, and you cannot get any worse than Megan Fox. Shoot, you could get a dinosaur or a freaking animal to play April O'Neil at this point and still would act circles around Megan Fox's performance. Now, I'm going to shut up insulting Megan Fox because pretty much after her, everyone's doing a decent job and I don't have any downers about them. So, her April is fantastically decent. She's not anything amazing or anything overly well done or anything horrible. She's just a pretty decent April O'Neil, and I don't mind her. But the rest of the movie kind of sucks. Anyhow, let's go to the next April.
It was just a myth. A scary story locals told kids around a campfire.
Whoa, what are you talking about?
What do you do if Buffy the Vampire Slayer is April O'Neil? Well, she gives a decent performance. Woo! Oh yeah, she does. Sarah Michelle Gellar as April O'Neil wasn't a bad voice choice for her, but there really wasn't a lot to April in the 2007 movie, and that's kind of my complaint. I mean, if you get Buffy the Vampire Slayer, you could do a lot more with her. Unfortunately, we really didn't get that much. In fact, they try to go out their way to make her a damsel in distress, but then they try to make her tough at the same time. And I really didn't care for that. I mean, she's a good choice to play April too. I really like Sarah Michelle Gellar. And she had great chemistry with douchebaggery Chris Evans. So I don't really have any issues with her April O'Neil. Her performance is just lacking. And that's probably my biggest issue. There were moments where she can be really funny, especially when she gets her moments with Casey. Like I said in the Casey video, when she's arguing with him about the car, where he's like, can you not drive this thing any faster? And she's like, you want to drive? I do like some of those quips that she has. But it feels like they're trying to make the story more about her in this, which, in fairness, it is basically her story in this movie since she is kind of the narrator here. But there's a lot left to be desired. She's just okay. She's lacking a lot, but she's decent. She could have been better, though. I would have loved to seen a better, more badass April, and we really didn't get that here. So let's go to the next one.
Big 3 days of non-stop fighting.
Remember when I complained earlier in the segment about the other April O'Neil from the 2023 film? Kat Graham's April O'Neil has spunk, personality, and she is just a lot of fun. In fact, she's my favorite character out of the Rise of the TMNT cast. I love her personality in this one. Holy shit, she's fun. Now we're getting into more of the good/great tier. And one of her performances of April is just so different, but yet so much fun. I mean, that's basically what I can tell with this performance. You could have had anyone voice any of the other Aprils in the back, but no, you cannot replace this one. Kat Graham was actually awesome. And I do like the art style that was just really well done with this version of April. Man, she's a lot of fun. And she has perfect flowing energy with the other cast of the Turtles too. She works off each and every one of them a lot, and I just love her performance in this. I never thought I would be jumping up Rise of the TMNT character, but her April might be one of my favorites out of the April O'Neils out of the entire series. Kat Graham is just a lot of fun, and you could tell she is having a ball playing this character. She's not bland in the least. She's not boring. She's actually a lot of fun, and man, I love her chemistry with the Turtles in this. I don't know why, I just get a big grin every time she's on screen, and she just does something fun. I couldn't believe I found myself enjoying Rise of TMNT. I mean, try to name a YouTuber or anyone else who has April O'Neil as their favorite TMNT character. Well, now you can. This April O'Neil is my favorite character out of Rise of TMNT. Now, that might be due because the other personalities in the Rise series kind of got butchered with the Turtles. But man, they really amped April up and they made her just so much fun. I couldn't get enough of her. I really enjoyed this version of April O'Neil. She's badass. She's funny. She's got some of the best comeback lines. She's just freaking great. One of my favorite interpretations of April O'Neil right here. Fantastic. Let's move.
Those are weak, April. I've had years of training.
You talk too much.
What can I say about Mae Whitman? Mae Whitman is just an incredible voice actress who I absolutely adore in almost anything she's in. I mean, come on. She played Yuffie, and she nearly plays her to perfection. Almost as good as Christy Charles from Romano. And her April O'Neil is no exception to being awesome. From the 2012 series, she kicks so much ass as April O'Neil. I really enjoy the extra charm she puts in. Now, they actually age April down in this series, which I'm fine with. And they don't make her overly silly or overly whiny. Mae Whitman actually puts in a very good balance. Although, in some forms of it, I do feel like I'm hearing Katara from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Or at least I hope that's her name. But I really dug this version of April a lot. Now, I watched the 2012 series, obviously, when I was in my 20s. And I really loved how they handle the entire series, the animation. And I do like her design, too. April's design here is just kind of looks like a teenage girl. And Mae Whitman, who is known for playing younger voice characters, just does fantastic here. I like the energy she gives April, and she can make her serious too. I like that a lot. There's nothing super special about her performance, but it's Mae Whitman, and I really haven't come across a Mae role that I have disliked in the least. She's great. And she's a really fun and enjoyable April O'Neil. I don't think that there is a time where she plays April that I didn't like. She can play April serious, she can play her funny, she can play her whiny even if she has to. She does a fantastic job here. In fact, most of the 2012 cast do. If everyone remembers, 2 years ago, I ranked Raphael's Sean Astin as my favorite Raphael of the entire series. Well, even though she's not the best April O'Neil that I'm going to rank to the best, she is still memorable and very enjoyable, and she gives her Mae Whitmaniest energy as good as she can. And I seriously think she is worthy of this spot here. But let's continue maneuvering and moving on.
Oh my god, I'm dead!
It's okay.
Oh no, I'm dreaming. I must be dreaming. Okay.
How dare I move Judith Hoag so low as April O'Neil? But she's ahead of Mae Whitman, and I just said all that nice. Okay, Judith is awesome as April O'Neil, but the reason I didn't rank her super high as some of the other ones above this list is because she kind of complained a lot about the violence in the original 1990 film and said that it should have been toned down, and the reason she left was because she did not want to reprise her role as April. So in my mind, she's not exactly enjoying this performance, so it kind of echoes throughout, but she is a good April O'Neil. She definitely has a lot of flair here, and I do like her comebacks. I mean, I love some of the lines that she gives, like, what am I late on my Sony payments again? A very stereotypical line that she says that, yeah, I just love her reaction with the Turtles, and she does have a good rapport with the other cast of the Turtles. Definitely, especially with Raphael. I really like her chemistry with Raphael. She's just a very good actress in terms of that. It just kind of hurt me to know that she did not like playing April because of the violence. And she complained that, oh, well, you know, we're trying to influence kids and stuff. So in my opinion, maybe that's why Turtles 2 and 3 got worse, was because of her complaints and other parents' complaints. But I am going to give credit where credit's due. She still does a good job, and man, she acts great with the Turtles. And I do like her chemistry with Casey Jones here too. She definitely has that flair attitude that I really like, and I do like her hair. Even though it's not like red and as pronounced as, say, the cartoon versions, she still does give an awful memorable take on April. The design is fun, even though I still would have liked seeing her in that yellow banana jumpsuit, even though it is a dumb design now that I think about it. But I still like her version of April O'Neil. She's cool. She's a bad girl, and I like it at heart. But she's not the best April O'Neil. Let's move on to the next one, shall we?
1,000-year-old clan of assassins. Is it possible they're here in the city? We're at Technology Center.
Renee Jacobs. What the hell can I say? Renee Jacobs is April O'Neil to a lot of people, including me. In fact, most of the Aprils I've been praising on this list, like I said, there are very few bad Aprils. Megan Fox is the worst one. But Renee Jacobs has a lot in our childhood. Man, especially us boys in childhood, you know, red hair, one on the left, one on the right, and the yellow jumpsuit. I do find her yellow jumpsuit silly, but man, can she pull it off. I do like the personality and the lines that she gives to Renee Jacobs. Just fucking fantastically funny in this show. I think one of my favorite lines giving, do you have any last words? And she replies with, a few, but they're not suitable for television. I find that hilarious. And man, her voice just fits the look of the character too. She's very funny. She can be extremely funny and corny too. Especially with her chemistry with Vern and Irma, and then Byrne, her boss. Man, if they gave these guys a sitcom on their own without the turtles, it would still be funny as hell. And yeah, I like Irma. Don't judge me. I like Irma a lot. I used to hate her as a kid, but she became like my secret favorite character out of the 87 cartoon. I don't know. I just love her sarcastic sense of humor and basically how she gets some of the best lines. I'm talking about Renee Jacobs, everyone. I'm not talking about Irma. I might make a video about Irma next round. Maybe. But yeah, I just love her chemistry with the turtles. Her design is great. Her personality is just extremely funny. She's not a blank slate like Megan Fox and some of the other performances. She's very memorable. Though she does take her job a little too seriously. By that I mean she puts herself in danger a lot. And she just gives no shits about anyone else getting hurt either. But damn, she's extremely memorable and a lot of people's favorite April O'Neil for a reason. But she's not ranked on the best list. I really don't have any faults to say about her. In fact, most of the Aprils on this list, it's just which one I kind of see as April and which one gets better as the list goes. And as much as I love Renee Jacobs, there still is a couple more that are just a little better than her. But I will say she's funny, extremely hilarious, and can be serious at times too. And she loves her job. But let's go to the next one.
Absolutely! Shwing!
Now we're on to Paige Turco. I love Paige Turco's April O'Neil. She is easily the best part of 2 and 3 out of the Turtle sequels to me. And I normally wouldn't have counted her because I try not to include Turtles 2 and 3. But man, she made a memorable April O'Neil. She basically became my favorite April O'Neil until for a while. But I will get into that when I get into that. She still keeps her sarcasm and sense of humor. And one thing I will say about Paige, she actually looks like she's having fun being there. Hell, even in Shitty Turtles 3, she looks like she's still having a great time being there. And basically, I think Feldman says it best. Allegorama, shawing! I don't know. Some of those lines... okay, I'm not going to lie. Paige Turco is actually very attractive, too. She might be physically the most attractive actress that has played April O'Neil to me. Physically played her. As in, yeah, she's cute and she has sarcasm and I really enjoy seeing her. Now, what we didn't get to see a lot in this one was her chemistry with Casey. And I do know that Elias was in Turtles 3 playing 2 separate parts, but that's not actually Casey that he's playing in the other part when she's in the past, so we really didn't get to see her chemistry with Casey very much, but she still has strong chemistry with the other Turtles, and I really dig that. I love that chemistry that she shares with those Turtles. It's great. She can still be extremely funny, especially her intro into the movie. As a kid, I didn't even know that they really replaced Judith Hoag. So I always thought Paige Turco played in the first movie for a long time until I rewatched the original 90 film as a teenager and was like, oh, shit, they replaced her. I like that a lot. It does give us more of an insight to how good Paige really is. And if they actually put Paige in the original 90s movie, I probably wouldn't have complained. Like if they did a special Star Wars special edition edit or something with the Ninja Turtles movie. No, don't do that. Don't touch the movie. But I'm just saying, I wouldn't have complained or probably wouldn't have noticed. She outacts Judith Hoag easily. and she's almost as funny and memorable as Renee Jacobs, but she's not ranked as the best. There is one April above her, and since it's the only April O'Neil I haven't talked about, you guys probably know who it is. But Paige is worthy of having this spot as the second best April O'Neil. Easily, physically the best April O'Neil, but let's move on to the best of the best.
I mean, yeah, that'd be great.
Coming through!
It would be nice to get out of here. I kind of got turtles coming out my ears.
Veronica Taylor, yes, Ash Ketchum is my favorite April O'Neil of the entire Turtles franchise. Why? She has great chemistry with Casey Jones. She definitely has an excellent chemistry with the Turtles. She just really fits. I love her personality in the entire run of this whole 03 series. She may not be my favorite out of the 03. That would be Mark Thompson's Casey Jones is my favorite out of the 03. But man, she is a close second favorite. This is definitely the best April to me. Her voice fits. She has some of the best lines. And honestly, I like that they didn't completely make her a news reporter. They had her be a scientist or assistant so they could focus more closer to the comics. But I do like some of the little Easter eggs that they give in this version. I enjoy that a lot. I don't know. There's something about the chemistry that she shares with the Turtles and the voice that she does fits really well. And to me, she is the definitive April O'Neil. Imagine all the choices that I've talked about. Some are big name actresses. Some are really incredibly well-known voice actresses. But something about Veronica Taylor's version of April just stands out more to me. She feels more realistic. This is how I feel April O'Neil would be in real life. And I know it's just a silly cartoon, but man, the 03 version of the Turtles and the 03 version of April alone really got defined. And her version of April O'Neil has to be the best to me. Everything about her fits. It's perfectly well done flowing. I love nearly everything about Veronica Taylor's performance as April O'Neil. She just kicks a lot of ass here. And not only does she kick ass in the voice performance, this April actually gets to fight. Yeah, technically Mae Whitman's April does fight, but man, we get to see her fight. She joins up with Casey. We get to see more chemistry with her and Casey Jones than we did in the 07 one. She is just well-rounded and well done. I love this version of April O'Neil, and I will gladly defend and say she is the best voice for April O'Neil to me. I love Renee Jacobs and Mae Whitman and all the other ones that I picked except Megan Fox on this list, but Veronica Taylor stands out to me as the best of the best. And that's where I'm going to end the video here, folks. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope you agree. If not, well, let's go to the outro of this video, shall we? We have done April O'Neil. And what can I say other than, yeah, you've probably seen that one coming. But the best one was probably a surprise to everyone because I really don't seem to talk about the 03 series that often. But I can't help it. I think she is the best one. She was really well done. And I think she just captures the character the best way possible. But what do you guys think? Why don't you tell me in the comments? And I seem to have a trend of 03 characters going. Well, let's move on to the next character, worst to best. After this one, then I'll be doing another worst to best. So, yeah, this whole month is basically worst to best. Anyhow, Cowabunga, thanks for watching. Tell me in the comments if you disagree with my choices, and I'm listening.
Hello, this is Corey Feldman. Welcome to my studio here in Los Angeles, California, and I just wanted to pop in to say congratulations to Tim. Mr. Tim, I hope everybody's enjoying your videos. He's got some great content, and if you're enjoying his content, make sure you click on that little button right there that says subscribe. Why? Because everything on his channel is Bossa Nova. That's right. Congratulations on your channel, Mr. Tim. I'll be following you, and I know everybody else will too.
Pizza Pie!